Okay, so your spirit team, right? Or what I call my SGS squad, my spiritual guidance super squad, right? They are here to protect you. They're here not only to protect you, but to protect the mission that you're on. And it's the highest timeline. Does that make sense? I know this sounds all like whoo out there and all this shit. Just roll with it. You understand? Whether you believe in timelines, dimensions, and all that other stuff, that's neither here nor there. What I want you to focus on is there are going to be times that you really want to do something or you feel that it's a really good thing to do, and your spirit team is going to nix it. It's going to be like, no. And it is it's happened to me a couple of times, and it is one of the most frustrating things that you can find. And I feel bad for the people who are not like me, who can muscle test or talk to their spirit team and be like, yo, did you block this? And it's like, they're like, yeah. And they'll explain to me why they blocked it. I've done this, I've done readings for that for friends and family members where they're like, I don't understand why this didn't happen. And I'm like, and then I'll like do my thing. And the spirits will be like, well, it wasn't a good deal. Or it wasn't going to be for your highest benefit. It was going to be a trap. So, because what, and I don't believe, even me included, and I've been doing this for a while, I don't believe we understand how many traps and booby traps that are set out for us to like fall into, especially when you're doing stuff to help the collective and help raise vibration and help people move higher and break out of chains and stuff like that. And I've said this many times before, the devil doesn't bother the people. And when I say devil, it's very loosely. It's not like a guy with pitchfork and or an angel that fell from heaven. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about devil to me is anything that will keep you snared, that will keep you locked up, just like the devil card. Anything that's going to keep you in bondage, that's a devil. Not what they try to portray it to be, but going into a deal that could cost you 10 years of your life and not 10 positive years of your life, you don't want that money. You don't. You don't want that money. Going into a relationship where it's going to cost you 18 years of your life and you didn't learn anything from it, they're going to block it. They're going to 100% block it. Unfortunately, there are times that they'll let you go through it to learn the lesson, you know, and this is what I try to tell my students. Don't push the spirit. Like don't push it. And when I say don't push it, I mean like if the spirit says no, just move the fuck on. Just make sure it's the spirit saying no and not some random tarot reader telling you no, but an actual reader or an actual person who can speak to the spirit realm, speak to your team. You should be able to do this. If you're watching me, you should be able to do this. And you just muscle test and you talk to your team. Just ask a bunch of questions. That's all muscle testing is asking questions. Ask why. Why isn't this a good deal? And they'll tell you why. You'll hear it, and then you'll hear it in your head. Or this is what happens to me anyway. I'll hear it in my head, and then I'll muscle test to make sure that that's what I heard, and I'm not just making shit up. Because I'm always scared that I'm making shit up. So I have checks and balances when I do stuff, and I tell people all the time, don't just go on my muscle test for yourself, because it's like maybe I'm wrong, maybe I asked wrong. So it's like I'm still building my confidence in that area. But when your spirit squad says no, it's usually not, if not all the time, because there was a danger for you. There was something that wasn't going to go the way that you expected it to go. And it was going to derail the mission, or it was going to waste time that they didn't have time to waste. So it's like we're in the game, right? And they're above us. Not literally, but they're like out of the game, and they're looking at stuff, and they know the map. They remember the vows, they remember the contracts, they remember everything that we forgot. And you'd be like, what do you mean we forgot? From what I understand, from all the teachers that I've been watching, we come back, or we come into this game and we forget everything of who we are, what we came here with, what we're doing, what we're supposed to be doing here. And the game is to remember what you're doing here and actually do it. Now, your spirit team, your squad, they already know. They just can't tell you, which is crazy, because there's times that I'm just like, just fucking tell me so I can just go. But they know me. They know me very well. I'll just go straight to the finish line. I'll just be like, so we don't need all this shit. We can get rid of all this shit. So that's why they don't tell me stuff. So I know why they don't tell me stuff, because I would just go straight to it. Because I'm an accelerated type of person. I'm not going to go through all this just to end up over there. Can I just go over there? No, that's not how it works. They need you to build muscle before you get there. Like people who used to, I don't even know, because I haven't played video games in a really long time, but it's like there was always levels before you got to the big boss to get to the next level. You always had to meet a big boss at the end. So what your spirit squad is doing is they're preparing you to get there. And the stuff that is not for your highest good, that is not going to get you to defeat or get to that big boss, to get to the next level, they're going to move it out the way. It hurts. Let's just take this moment to understand that rejection hurts. Not getting what you thought you wanted hurts. It hurts. It doesn't feel good at all, because knowing why it happened doesn't stop it from hurting. It doesn't stop you from feeling bummed. It doesn't stop you from being like, well, damn, because I feel it was a thought, or an idea that you feel just died, and it didn't have a chance to take off. But if your spirit team is the one that said no, and it wasn't just someone trying to block you or whatever, and even when it's someone trying to block you, it's usually your spirit team. I feel like it's usually the team using that person to do certain things to kind of get you where you need to be. And it sucks. It does. I'm being as honest and transparent as possible. It doesn't feel good. Knowing what I know, and knowing that I need to work through things, I need to understand things. Things don't just happen to me, but they happen for my benefit. It still doesn't stop it from sucking. It doesn't. I know these things, but I do want to have a pity party sometimes. I do want to sit in my bed and cry. I do want to be like, this is bullshit. You understand? You still want that, even though you know why it was done. It still sucks. And I need you to understand that. It's still gonna suck. You go to the gym, punch the bag, don't kick the dog, don't hurt anybody, but punch a bag, go for a run, take a yoga class, do something for your body to come into peace with what you're actually feeling. Because what happens is there's a hardware and there's a software. The software knows exactly what's going on, knows, okay, something was avoided. It didn't happen because something was avoided. It didn't happen because it wasn't the right thing. There's going to be other opportunities. They're moving me forward. I can see the forward movement. That's not a problem. Your body is the hardware. Your body is something completely different. Your body is just like, I want to hit something. I'm hurt. I want to hit something. I'm sad. I want to hurt something. And it's like, not like people, but like I want to it has to get out that feeling, that feeling of not being chosen, that feeling of not being recommended, that feeling of not getting the gig, the feeling of not having what you want. It's like the body takes the hit, the spirit doesn't. The spirit really doesn't. From what I'm feeling, the spirit really doesn't. The spirit does, but it bounces back really quick because it has access to different things that helps regulate it. But your body is like directly connected to your nervous system. Does that make sense? And it's like it's a system. It's a system that flows throughout your body. And then if you have trauma and shit on top of that, it's going to send out a signal to your body. See the shit? This just happened again. And it's like, it's going to send it out to your body, and your mind is going to start fighting each other. Then the brain starts sparring with the mind because the brain is part of the body. The brain is not, the brain and the mind are two different things. The brain is the operating system. It processes information. The mind is what's higher, and it can see from a higher realm. This is my theory. I don't know if it's sound. I'm still testing it, but that's my theory, because I know when I can tell now when I'm operating from my mind and my higher mind and just processing information and just processing stuff and either regurgitating it or processing it and tweaking it. So when I do speak on it, I'm processing right now. Like right now, I'm using my brain to say the right words to you at the right time. Now, my higher mind is who's feeding the information. Does that make sense? At least this is my theory. I'm still working on it. I'm still working it out. I'm still working it out. But I feel like the hardware tends to get angry because, at least mine, I'm always talking about me. My hardware gets angry because it has to digress to what the higher mind is saying, because it's sound. What the higher mind is saying makes sense. It's not wrong, but you still want to hit something. You still want to cry. You still have to get it out somehow. You have to get out how you're feeling, because if you don't, it's going to sit there. You understand? And sometimes talking about it helps, but you got to be careful who you talk to about it, because sometimes people just make you feel worse. So it's like sometimes it's easier just to talk to your spirit team, you know. Or like I said, punch a heavy bag, get that aggression out and just be like, you understand, and just get it out, because you have to clear the energy that's in the body. You can also do clearings too, but I would also recommend hitting something, stretching something out, working out to get that aggression out. All right. I know this helped. I know this was for someone specific. Shut up. I have a problem with my S's. For someone specific. I love you guys. Stay up, stay blessed. It's going to get better. I love you. Bye. Deuces in the bones.